bangers and
smash.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Bangers and Smash podcast, a casuals take on all things UFC. I'm Nick, joined together with Reese and Sugar. So we're going to be talking about the UFC 298 card. Just a bit of backstory. We do have a tipping contest going in the background. And we just thought it would be fun to shit talk while we do it all. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Part of that shit talk is me always being the best. Anyway, carry on.
That's
Yet
not true.
to be proven.
You're winning at the moment, but I'm close behind. We're talking one tip here. But it has been a hard year. Like, this has been the hardest start to we've had it running 3 years, and this has definitely been the hardest start to the UFC season.
Definitely.
Only one of us ex-champ. Anyway, carry on, Nick.
Anyway, so we'll just kick off. We are going to the main card, as that's the only one that we've chosen to do tips for this week. So we'll start with the first one on the main card, which is Hernandez versus Kopylov. So I have tipped Kopylov. I have done no research on this, typically just because he's Russian. But I feel like just because it's the middleweight division, it is the equivalent to the female divisions, it is garbage. So that's why I've chosen him. Onto you, Reese. What have you chosen, mate?
No way you start with that.
Hurry up, Reese. Tell us why you tipped.
So for this fight, it was pretty hard. Like, this is probably the hardest fight on the card. Hernandez is an absolute dog. Like, I rewatched the friend Hernandez fight, and I'm pretty sure that was in Salt Lake City, and he went 3 rounds wrestling relentlessly, and broke friend. It's hard because, like, Kopilov's such a good stand-up, but he's also got that Russian, Sambo style. They even said in the friend fight that he held 3 championships, and it's all against like Russian Sambo wrestlers. So I think that was what gave me the heads up to go Kopylov. I think he gets it done. I just think it matters whether he can survive the takedowns, relentless takedowns, because that's what's going to be coming. And I think that's what's going to get it done. It's him holding up, and he'll catch him on the feet. But I could be wrong. Like, it was a hard fight, 50-50 in my eyes.
Spoken like a fucking nerd. All right, Sugar, what have you got?
Yeah, I'm similar to Nick. I've just gone Hernandez. I think the wrestling will get it done.
Yeah,
Next one, Nicholas.
All right. So next one, moving up the chain, is it Whitaker and Costa?
Nah. That's
Oh,
co-main.
we just want to start there anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the co-main?
No.
What's next?
In order.
Merab versus Cejudo.
Good pronunciation there, buddy. No,
Cejudo. It's fucking Australian. We're pronouncing
All right,
it
for
how
this
it is.
one, I've just gone Merab. I think the pressure is going to be just insane. I know Cejudo is obviously an epic wrestler and he's shorter, so that underhook's always going to be there for him. And he's obviously the better striker, but I just think the age and the time off is really going to hurt him here. And Merab is just relentless. That shit he did to fucking Yarn is just, that was insane. That pretty much sums that up on me.
This was also a pretty hard fight to pick. I hate the right wrestler versus wrestler matchup. I also give the striking I also give the striking to Cejudo, but I think Merab will get it done. I just think, like you said, Nick, the 3 years off it's massive, and he's out of his prime now, statistically. So, I'll give it to.
And if he loses, this is fucked. He's already said he's retiring if he loses.
Yeah, he does look in good nick, and he does look in like mental, like just from what I've watched, he does look like mentally prepared. So I think it's going to be a good fight. Hopefully it stays on the feet, and but I think Merab will be too good.
Yeah, so I'm the same. I've gone Merab. As our group knows, I'm a serial ageist. Any fighter reaching that cliff of age, I fucking tip against them fairly often, even when it's backfired and Reese has bullied me for it. Yeah, I think the age, especially at that weight class, it's going to hurt him. Marab is just, his cardio is just insane, and even though Cejudo's wrestling may be able to stop the relentlessness, I just think he's going to get outworked and Marab will get the job done.
Just one thing I just wanted to add. Does anyone think that Marab will gas? I mean,
Not
he
at all.
went 5 rounds and
I
did
think
it, didn't he?
he's
You know what you just said?
insane.
Yeah, I know, but it's different when wrestler versus wrestler, like...
I would almost make the claim that he's probably on EPO or some shit, because that performance against Peter Yan was ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen that before by a fighter not gassing.
Yeah, fair.
But I do hate him for what he did to my boy Aldo. That was rough.
Your boy Aldo, you were fucking all over Yan as well. Don't fucking back off from that one.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I love
and
Yan.
hang on,
I'd still tip
hang on,
Yan.
These two idiots said that Yan was the best fighter in UFC.
But my
No,
boy
he's not.
Aldo,
My boy John
was on the
Jones got
way.
it done all day, every day. Don't matter who, when.
I'll take the L on Yan, but we'll talk about Jones later. So moving on. Cheers, Nick. Next fight.
Oh, what is it? Because my list seems to be fucked up. Is it Neil
Jeff
and Gary?
versus Gary, your boy Steven.
Neil and Gary? Sugar's fucking crush.
He actually
wow.
wants to be
So-
Gary's boy.
I have gone with Neil just because I think if Gary can get knocked down by Song Kenan, then fucking Neil has to get it done. And yeah, he's better than Song. He's faster. Hopefully he misses weight again to get the advantage, and I get the tip done.
Yeah, this was hard, real hard fight. I was Neil all the way up until I watched a few fights of Neil. Like his power's there, and like he's pretty well rounded, I'd say. But man, I just can't. I was looking. If you look at the way Gary dealt with Neil versus what Jeff Neal did to Neil Magny, I just think that if you look at a fight side by side, Gary handled it a lot better. I know Gary is susceptible to getting caught. He's been probably caught in every one of his fights, except for the Neil fight. And he should have finished Neil Magny. I'm not disputing that fact. But I just can't see. Like, I think Gary is too well rounded for him. You look at wrestling, I'd say, if it goes to the ground, you'd give the advantage to Gary, Ian Gary. And then on the feet, I think he's just a bit more stylistically just better. There's question marks on Jeff Neal. Like, he had like a massive, he nearly died. So I think, I think Gary's going to get it done. So that's why I went Gary.
I can't wait for this fucking Shakespeare love poem from fucking Sugar. Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm actually similar to Reese's take, where I was really wanting to pick Neil. Gary, all the pressure Gary's been on in the media, turning his social media comments off, pulling out of a fight, it looks really, really bad, and he's really young. And watching Jeff Neal go toe-to-toe with Shavkat like he did was just brutal, and he could have finished Shavkat. He really had him on the ropes at times. But after re-watching footage, man, I just can't see Jeff getting it done. Not with only 3 rounds to do it. Gary's just going to run away the whole time, and Jeff is not going to catch him. So unfortunately, I'm still going with my boyfriend, Ian Gary.
Yeah, there's no shock there, but I do agree. I mean, remember Neil versus Wonderboy, and Neil just could not get to him. So it's probably going to be pretty similar to that.
I meant to.
And I was going to watch that. Oh, sorry, Stephen. I was going to watch that fight, but man, I can't watch decision fights. It's so hard.
I just want to witness Sugar's heartbreak when fucking Gary falls to the floor. It's just going to be beautiful.
So I went back and watched that Wonderboy fight as well, and that was part of what swayed my decision. Yeah. I don't want to compare Ian Gary to 35-year-old Wonderboy because he's not on that level in any way. Wonderboy never gets caught unless he gets knocked the fuck out, whereas Gary gets caught in every fucking fight.
Yeah.
But man, Jeff could not touch him, and Jeff was covering up with that high guard and charging at him and still couldn't get near him. So, yeah, it's got to be Gary.
Also, Stephen, you touched on the fact that he turned his comments off his thing and he's been absolutely hammered in the media. Like, there's no disputing that fact. I just think that, for me, I know you talk about how fighters, you're going into a war pretty much. As a fighter, you're going into the cage, you're getting locked into the cage, and it's going to be a war. And then you said that people, you can't say, like Rob Whittaker said, I'll touch on this later as well. Rob Whittaker said that he wasn't mentally prepared properly for DDP. But I just think that there's levels of commitment. I think you have to think about the $1 million and like the money they make, the limelight, the fame, everything. I think that there is levels to the fact of sort of, commitment to training and whatnot. I know you say that you're going into war, they're committing themselves 100%, but I think that in this situation it sort of benefits Gary that he's turned off his media and all that, and he's just, like, it's going to force him to just train, not worry about anything else, because at the end of the day, what's going to bring Ian Gary to, like, the audience, what's going to bring him back as a good guy is going out there and dispatching Jeff Neal and doing what he said.
So my issue isn't him ignoring social media. My issue is him not having the mental strength to leave comments on and just ignore them.
But
he
why?
couldn't. He had to go and turn them on. He went and pulled out of a fight. I'm not so sure it was an injury, and he's clearly anxious about the whole situation. It is clearly getting to him. Otherwise, he would have just left the comments on. And you don't want to be anxious when you're going out in front of the world for a fucking punch on with Jeff Neal chasing you down. You don't want to be anxious.
Yeah, I sort of agreed, but I just think that if you got the tools there to, block that out, why wouldn't you? Because they're going to be bad anyway, so why wouldn't you block them out?
Yeah, for me, it's a combination of. It's always there's always a group of things coming together, and I'll touch on that with Volt later. He turned the comments off. That's one thing. He pulled out of a fight. That's another thing. And the third one is the entire world is hammering him on something that is intensely embarrassing.
What is it?
Him being a cuck.
He fucking didn't help himself in that situation, but
it's
whatever.
so personal and so embarrassing, and for someone to be so intense about attacking everyone around him and trying to be this bravo guy. And originally I thought, fuck yeah, cool, he doesn't care what anyone thinks, he's going to speak his mind, he's inviting the hate, he's inviting the hype, wicked. And then all of a sudden it turns on him and he pulls out of a fight, he turns off his comments, and it looks really bad to me. It looks really bad.
Yeah. But do you sort of agree that you might have underestimated the training side of things, of like not being mentally prepared going into a fight properly, or not doing the right things to put yourself in the best position to win fights?
What, from Ian Gary's?
Well, I can't remember like what we were talking about exactly, like the exact. But you said that as a fighter.
Oh, sorry. About the Whittaker thing.
No, not just about the Whittaker thing. I don't think it was about, like, I think it was the Volt thing, saying like he and before.
We'll get there. We'll move on and we'll get back to because we'll discuss a lot about Volt later.
Okay.
Go for it, Nick.
No, but not just. It wasn't just the Volt fight, but a lot of fighters have said like, I wasn't mentally prepared going in. I didn't train the way I was supposed. Like sort of like a Connor thing as well. And you said there's like, you're an MMA fighter, you're going in for war, that you don't go into a fight underprepared.
No. Heaps of fighters go in underprepared. Heaps of fighters don't do the work that they should have or could have or have in the past.
Okay.
My comment was, it's never out of underestimating a fighter. I think the times that would happen would be so infrequent, and I will never give a fighter an excuse for underestimating a fighter because I don't believe any person who gets locked in a cage with a top 10 most dangerous people on the whole planet in their weight division is ever going, oh, you know, I don't need to train too hard for this one. I don't buy it. And I'm sure there are some freakish examples of it. You know what I mean? If fucking... I don't know. I'm sure there are some examples, but I don't buy that for Whittaker v DDP at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I think even looking at the sort of the psychology behind it, you would think you've already sort of admitted to yourself that you have an uphill battle there, and you've just sort of given yourself a backdoor exit to sort of cling on to if you lose. You know, like, oh no, I wasn't prepared, I wasn't training. Yeah, that's my take on that anyway.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's actually heaps better communicating in person than it is over text message. like I took what you said probably wrong to a degree. Yeah. So I think we should go to the next one.
All right, so that would be Whittaker versus Costa, yeah?
Yep.
I have gone with Whittaker. This wasn't as an easy pick because I think Whittaker does struggle with guys that are a bit bigger than him, and I think Costa has definitely got him beat on size. I think Whittaker at the moment has got a bit of an identity crisis with how he fights. He started as obviously like a taekwondo, jump in and out, and now he's sort of transitioned to a really solid boxer, and he's not picking like the right path. I think he's still trying to mix them up together, and the taekwondo seems to really be getting him into shitty positions, jumping in and out, and with his chin he just can't do that. I feel like if he just sticks to his boxing, because he has an amazing boxing, like he's great, if he sticks to that he will just destroy Costa, just technical wise. But yeah, if he keeps jumping in and out, I can see Costa landing something and Whittaker's glass chin will just shatter.
So you've gone Whittaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've also gone Whittaker. Man, super hard fight because we just don't know what we're going to see from Costa. I mean, you could see the best Costa ever, and it could be like a sick fight, or we could see a Costa who's not committed and sort of flunked in the past and like sort of crumbled against Izzy. Like, it's just so hard to see like if he's improved or and I just sort of think that's going to go against him, which is why I went Whittaker. I've been watching Rob since Tough Oz v UK. Man, it's crazy how much he's evolved, and it's crazy. It's funny that you talked about that, Nick, because I didn't really think about it like that. But yeah, I do think that what you're saying is correct. I think mentally Izzy sort of broke him a little bit after he sort of had nowhere to turn. And there isn't that someone, I mean there is now, but there wasn't at the time. Like, he lost to Izzy and then he's like, well, what do I do? Fight Cannonier, fought Cannonier, won, and then it's like, then what? But now then he got into the DDP thing, and then I want to talk about, we spoke about earlier just about the mentality thing. I think he did underestimate DDP because he does have that drunken style fight. He looks unorthodox, then he looks shit. He looks like if you go technical, I think everyone would have said that DDP is not technical, but I think they've changed their minds now.
I still don't think he's technical. I don't know.
Man, you can't say that. Like,
I think he's just one of those guys that fails upwards.
Nah.
Anyway, let's keep...
Yeah, so I've gone Rob because of that, and I think, just the ring rust. I think we've established that ring rust is a thing. I mean, John Jones defied that, but we won't go there. I could be completely wrong. Rob could be at the end of his career, and it's not any mental thing. It's not stylistic shit. It might be just the fact that he's deteriorated. It does scare me. Man,
yeah, he's fought for a long time.
Yeah,
sometimes.
like I've been watching him since like 2012, and yeah, it's a long time, and it's a lot of wear on the body. I could
Especially
be wrong.
for a guy that likes to jump in and out and use agility and speed. That 33 is getting there.
But I do think that he's going to be too much for Costa. I think MMA technical, he's better than Costa. I think he's better everywhere. But we don't know what we're going to see from Costa. That's just my point of view.
Yeah, so Costa is probably my favourite, I won't say fighter, but personality in the UFC. I find him absolutely hilarious, and ever since he got raped by Izzy, he's turned into one of the greatest trolls of all time. And I really, really wanted to pick him, but I just couldn't. I mean, I was going back through, that's what I was just searching up then. I was going back through his record, and we're talking 4.5 years since he fought Yoel. And what was that? Is Yoel Romero, and that was his last good fight. And against Yoel, Romero was old as fuck as well. Like, where was Romero in his career? And then 5.5 years to his KO of Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall was landing jabs on him flat out. He got raped by Izzy, he lost against Vittori, and he missed weight, and he was way bigger than Vittori, but then he gassed, and I was sort of weighing up whether I was going to let him off that, but he just hasn't done it. The fight against Rockhold was pretty embarrassing, to be honest, even though he won. And I was going back through it, and as much as I wanted to pick Costa, and as much as I think Whittaker might be coming to the end, I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm Whittaker too.
Yeah, well, Vittori, that's a weird one as well. What's your opinions on Vittori? Like, both of yous?
Anyway, moving on, next fight.
Well, yeah, what is it? The main event, eh?
Yep, main event.
All right. I have. I already know.
Hang on,
I already know
before you
some
start,
of this,
can you touch on what the background? Can you just let us know? We want video evidence. We want, complete shame on you as a person, and after the fight, what's going to happen?
I don't think this is shame. I think Nick picking Topuria's rise is pretty impressive. But anyway, carry on, Nick.
So I have been a Topuria follower since basically he was in grade school. Followed his career. I think he's stupidly talented for his age. Like 27 years old, I think he is. He's at like, I've said it with like Armin Sayukin, just with their age, these Georgian guys are just insane. So obviously I've tipped Topuria going into this. I think if it's inside 2 rounds, Topuria will get it done. Anything out of that, I think Volk would get the decision. Or I have seen some of Volk's training footage, and I know that they are going to be using that switch left kick. I don't think Volk's jab will be used as a jab. It's just going to be used to set up that kick. Anything that they can do to sort of get Topuria out of that range, because once he's in that range with Volk, he's going to be throwing bombs, and Volk has taken no time off since he got KO'd. That was, October, and he basically had the fight signed for... when was it?
Yeah, I think it was October.
Yeah,
something like that.
He had a fight signed, basically straight away, so that's straight into camp, straight into sparring. I don't think he's had any time to heal. And, he is getting older. You saw that stat where it was champion fights over 35 were 15-6, and 5 of those 6 things have been Volk, proving everyone wrong. So, yeah, Topuria he hasn't had to have done this, but to sell the fight and play heel, he has gone full heel. He's basically talked himself into retirement if he loses this, and that's another reason I don't think he'll lose. I think it would be too perfect of a story to have Volk humble him after all of this.
Yeah, I just can't see it getting done. Man, Volk
Hold on.
is
Who did you pick? Nick?
Topuria, obviously.
Yeah, okay. So you trolled me earlier, baited me hard, but yeah, I just can't. It scares me, the storyline, and everything seems so perfect. It's so fitting. But man, Volk is so good. Where is Topuria better? Ilya, where is he better? The only thing you could say is better, he's got more power, so he's got a puncher's chance? I just think that Volk is too good. You said he's short, he has had a short time off and stuff, but 4 months, 5 months, I'm not sure of the exact date, but 4 months is a long time, and we're talking talk about AFL or NFL, or you get a concussion, it's 12 days. And I just think that, 4 months is a long time. I don't know like the logistical side of things. I just can't see. The only way I see Tapiri winning is catching him, and I mean he probably could get caught, but and the storylines. But I'm more scared about the storyline than I am about Tapiri.
A couple of things there. So, how do you think the fight is going to go? What's Volk's? So we know what Tapiria's path to victory is. What do you think Volk's going to do to win the fight?
Honestly, I think he's going to touch him up first few rounds, and then in the later rounds, Tapiri is going to start shooting takedowns and he's going to scramble, and it's either going to be decision Volk, or he's going to get TKO'd, or he might even get submitted. I would not be surprised if Volk submits him.
So you think Volk is going to tap away at him and beat him up on the feet, and then Tapiri is going to start gassing and start panic shooting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then whatever happens from there, whatever.
Yeah.
I do sort of want to call out a part of that. You think Volk is going to submit him, where Volk has got, going through his record now, his last submission was in 2015.
I mean,
I think
Taporia is arguably the second best jiu-jitsu person in featherweight, probably the first.
Okay.
Oh, Nick.
I'm sorry, but I've followed Taporia for a long time. I think if you put Ortega above him, I think you're wrong.
So can I speak for Reese there? I don't think Reese thinks that he's going to be pulling off a flying armbar. I think his point of view is Taporia is going to get gassed, and if he starts panic shooting,
and if you're beaten up and struggling, I mean, we know Volk will drag him into deep waters. We know that. We know he can do that.
I can't see him going for the sub. It's not in him. He has zero sub threat to me.
I think
he would finish it by punches.
I just think that it's possible. I don't think it's stupid to rule it out. I think it's stupid to rule it out. Sorry. I mean, I can see it. It's there.
I don't see it happening either. But
so you're ruling it out completely.
We haven't
Taporia winning by a sub, but I can't see Volk.
He trains with Craig Judge. You can't tell me he doesn't train submissions.
I think he trains defensive. I don't think he has any subs in his arsenal whatsoever. That has to be drilled into you instinctually to pull it. And I think with Volk, as by every one of his fights over the last 10 years,
I'm probably wrong,
he will finish it by striking.
Yeah. You're more likely. I would give it, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I don't see it happening either. The only way I see it happening is by desperation, by a gassed Taporia putting his neck out. So the only way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, we could argue all day about that it could or couldn't happen, but that's just.
So we will talk about it more after this. Let's just get Sugar's tip.
Okay, so I've gone Taporia. I think, like I spoke about before, issues. One issue can be by chance, but once there's a group of them, it becomes too much for me. So Volk's almost 36. Is he 36 already?
I don't think so.
I don't even want to talk to you at the moment, Stephen.
He's 36.
I just can't believe you've done that.
And even though in MMAs we've seen careers that start later seem to go for longer, and careers that start earlier seem to drop off earlier, it's still a bad age at that weight. 1. 2, he's been head kick KO'd in his last fight and hasn't taken enough of a break. And I think part of the reason he hasn't taken enough of a break is because of the mental demons that he stated he's going through. He said he's never really drunk previously as much as he has now, and he reckons he drunk for 2 months straight, was it? Man, if you're 36 and you want to keep fighting at
he said 3 or 4 weeks, not 2 months.
Okay, 1 month. If you want to drink for a month straight as a 36-year-old MMA fighter, I mean, look at Conor McGregor. What a shambles that is.
I mean, completely different situations. I can't believe you've done this, Sugar. I don't even want to talk to you right now. We made a bet that Volk's going to win, and then you're going against everything we said.
And then I got more information. I'm still passionately supporting Volk, and I'm praying Volk wins, but I'm worried. I went back and I went through the record Volk's record, and I was like, what fights can I watch to go, this is comparable to the situation between Topuria and Volk?
Chad Mendes versus...
Exactly. And I went back and watched Mendes, who is half the striker at Topuria, and Mendes caught him multiple times.
Yeah, but do you not think... Yeah, but that was before Max. How much better of evolution did we see of Volk, Max 1 v 3?
It's a completely different... Bro, style makes fights.
100%, but 100%.
Now
But
almost...
you can't say he didn't evolve quickly.
He's
gotta
evolved,
remember,
and he's one of the smartest fighters out there. We saw in the... I got confused. Was it Max 2 where he lost the first 2 rounds? Or Max 1?
I think it was Max 1.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Max 2. That was the controversial one.
Yeah, so he got beaten up and outclassed for
and then look what he did in fucking the third fight.
And then no.
Man, I can't believe I just can't.
Then in the second the last 3 rounds, he absolutely dominated him. And, well, didn't dominate, but changed his game plan and won the fight, which was incredible. I think Volk's incredibly smart, but he's just been KO'd badly. He's coming up against a hard hitter, a classy hard hitter. And Chad Mendes, with half the technical ability with boxing, was lighting Volk up at times.
I think you underestimated Chad a little bit, yeah?
Potentially, but Topuria v Chad boxing match, Topuria wins every time in their prime. Every time.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that fact. But
now you've
got to put into consideration how much better Volk has got, man. He went toe to toe with Islam, man, it's crazy that you're even thinking about it.
So the other part,
you're saying that Islam has less power than Topuria.
If Topuria and Islam had a boxing match, Topuria nails him easily.
I mean, yes, but I'm talking power-wise. Do you think Islam hits harder or less harder? Or he's pretty much at welterweight.
You know Islam dropped Volk, right?
Yeah, dropped him, but he didn't knock him out.
I see, with power is timing and accuracy, and like we were saying
he hit him pretty clean.
We were saying about Whittaker not having a chin before. I don't think Whittaker has a poor chin.
I don't think he does either.
If you're jumping into a hit and you're coming forward into it, you're doubling the power.
Which is what Volk did against Islam?
Yeah. Seeing Chad Mendes light up Volk and watching Volk on the verge of a KO.
Severely underestimating how good... severely, but you're underestimating Chad Mendes for one. And because you're telling me that Chad Mendes doesn't have insane power?
It's not about the power, it's about the technique.
Yeah, but it goes hand in hand, I agree. But I think that Chad, he's a hard hitter. Like, if you get caught by Chad Mendes, it's going to hurt, it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so...
he's twice as quick, twice as powerful.
You think he's twice as powerful than Mendes?
Yes.
Big take.
Well, twice might be exaggerating, but certainly more powerful. So this is how I see the fight going. I don't think that Volk has the power in his hands to truly scare Topuria. So it's going to be whether Volk can manage the fight at kicking distance and chop out Topuria's front leg out. If he can't do that, and Topuria starts making the read and starts punishing him with his fists, I just see Volk with his back on the cage. I honestly do.
And you've seen Topuria getting dropped by Jai Herbert. You seen that?
Yeah.
So that was a literal leg kick, up a weight class on 2 weeks' notice. And he got up straight away and got the win.
He still got caught by Jai Herbert.
Yeah, but I don't think you understand, Reese. The difference was 11 inches was the reach advantage. Do you know how hard that is to pick up on?
I just want to make it clear, prime Volk...
what's the difference between Jai Herbert and Max Holloway? Stylistic-wise.
But what's your point?
Just tell me what the difference is. How's Topuria
there are certainly intricacies. Jai Herbert's not jumping around like a rabbit and throwing high kicks, bro. Have you watched Holloway?
That's what I'm saying, but like Matt, if you're going to compare, like you're saying, but I just don't think that. I don't
go back and go, oh, this guy fought this guy who's similar to this guy in height, which is completely irrelevant.
I mean, it's irrelevant. I agree.
How two short fighters manage a much taller fighter is irrelevant. I watched the Mendes fight, and I think he is nowhere near as good at boxing as Topuria.
Fair.
And combine that with the fact that Volk has had all these issues come up, recently been KO'd badly, is coming on in age and is having in a deep bad mental place, and was drinking for a month straight that he said he's never done before. It's all these pieces of the puzzle coming together, and I'm picking Topuria with not much confidence. I can easily see Volk getting it done, but I'm tipping top.
So we're going to talk about the little bet we have behind the scenes now?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty
sure.
suitable, because then everyone will see how frustrated I am with Stephen right now. Why?
I have a bet with these two that Topuria wins. I have to pay out both of those if he doesn't, and they have tipped Volk, which is funny because that's why.
Well, we both didn't tip Volk. We bet on Volk.
Oh yeah,
but
you
then
bet on
the
Volk,
idiot's gone against it,
and
tipped
Sugar's gone
Topuria.
against it. So he's
He's
covering all his
folded
bases,
to the pressure of
which
Nick.
I respect. It's smart. You get to win either way.
It's not.
No, I don't consider a draw a win in any way, but I've learned more information. I really don't like Volk drinking.
Did you see? Are we going to talk about the press conference today? Man, I think mentally that's going to screw Ilya big time. I think he got smoked today. Volk played it perfectly.
Yeah, but I think Ilya knows what he's doing. He's playing heel to sell the fight. He wants to be McGregor, and obviously who doesn't? He's a superstar.
He's not playing heel. He wants to be McGregor. There's a difference between literally defaming yourself and then wanting to be McGregor. Like, he's seen McGregor. He's obviously pathed his thing the same as McGregor. And he wants to be, like, people aren't going to like that. And he thought that people were going to love him. He thought he was going to walk into that octagon.
People all hate the arrogant ones until they win, and then they love him.
I understand that.
That always works.
100%. But I don't think he was mentally prepared for the boost he got today. He was.
So this will be my take on that. First of all, Topuria has always welcomed the hate. He's always gotten triggered at everything. He's always raged, chasing Paddy Pimblett and doing the rest of it. This has been a constant thing with Topuria. This is nothing new, him raging out at people. Okay, I watched something else that Topuria has said is sometimes he doesn't feel comfortable enough to speak in Spanish. Speak in English, so he'll do an interview in Spanish, which means he's not completely comfortable with English. Now, did you watch that video where Topuria was wearing the belt?
Yeah.
And then Volk went and called him out on it?
Yeah.
Volk was stumbling on his words, and it sounded like Volk's second language was English. Topuria walked straight up to him, cocky as anything, smiling, talking perfect English, and put his hand out to shake his hand first. That, to me, is much more important, seeing how much more confident Topuria is than Volk.
I think Volk
booing at a press conference.
I think Volk handled that situation good too. I mean, Volk came out victorious in that as well. I mean, everyone, you look at comments and stuff, I think everyone was saying that Volk sort of won that situation. It was like your dad going into catching your little kid doing something wrong. I don't think that I think you're over analysing the fact that he was stuttering. I didn't see that at all. I thought Volk handled it well.
Rewatch it.
I will rewatch it after this.
And tell me who speaks better English and who has English as a...
But Volk has never been the best on camera either.
It's his first language, bro.
Yeah, I understand that, but you're also on camera. Like, you have to factor that in. Like, it's different. It's different.
Let's go, Volk.
I think Topuria is playing heel very well. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. He expects the boos. That's why he has interviews. And he comes out and he says... You look at his reaction.
Go watch the press and watch his reaction.
This is why he comes out and he says he's not giving title shots to Yair or Ortega or anything like that. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to play heel and bait. He's trying to sell this fight. And you get that by people rooting against you. Everyone wants to see you lose. This is what Mayweather's done. It's what built his career. It's what McGregor tried to mirror.
Reece, he put fucking... He's put that he's already the champ on his fucking Instagram.
I think that's a great move by him. That's well played. That's well played. I understand.
He's clearly trolling, bro.
It's not trolling. That is not trolling. That is like a mentality thing, I think. It's not gonna... I don't think he's trying to troll. Nah, I don't think so.
There's a difference between thinking it and posting it.
What do you mean? He's like literally like it's a mental thing. Like to say it, it's like speaking shit into existence. I mean, I just think that he thought that people were going to love him, and I don't think that's the case.
I disagree. I think it's textbook playing heel. It's just the Mayweather to McGregor to Topuria. It's the same strategy. They're all following.
But no one hated McGregor. Everyone loved McGregor.
I hate McGregor. What are you talking about?
You're one
you know
person.
that McGregor once he started losing, Nick.
But people tuned into McGregor, obviously, because they
Because
love
he
him or
was
they
his
hate him. They want to see him lose. That's
okay,
what you always want.
I agree that some people did hate him, but I would say majority of people loved him because of the way he spoke and his charisma.
Eventually,
I think everyone originally was on McGregor because they loved him, but people love to hate people who are successessical.
Yeah, exactly. And Topuria
And
is
that's
good-looking,
that's why
undefeated,
McGregor was
excited.
like this, and then he went fucking like this because he had the fan base to begin with, and then you got the haters come in as well. And that you can, like, I know you don't really watch basketball and stuff, but LeBron James is the exact same scenario as Conor McGregor. People hate him because he's good.
I'll take your word for it.
Spastics.
We done?
Well, that's the card anyway,
that's the card.
so we can talk about anything
that's
else.
Been 40 minutes.
So I guess we would just quickly run through. So what do you guys think will be the fight of the night? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
No, I mean, it's hard, man, because we don't know what we're going to see from Rob versus Paulo. Paula.
Come on, Reese. This is an easy question, mate.
Nah, I don't think.
Start us off, Nick.
Yeah, it goes. You just go.
All right. Obviously,
I'll
I
think
think
about it.
The absolute banger of the night is just going to be that main event. I think that's the two best featherweights currently going at it. You've got Volk. If he wins, he is easily the best featherweight to do it. If you've got Topuria that wins, he's going to be a superstar. If he doesn't get it done, that's going to be the biggest humbling probably in fucking fighting history. So
Did you mention the movie?
Oh yeah, he's getting a movie made. I mean, what's he going to do with that if he loses? I mean, McGregor still
Press
made a
delete.
movie, so maybe just do what that did.
What's the movie called?
I don't know.
Road to the Belt.
Oh, see, that's sick. See, so
so
cool.
he can. This can be just an extra part. I think he will be champion one day. I do think that, but not now. I don't think it's time.
McGregor lost his fight and he made a movie, and I bet he didn't count on that, and he still released it. So
yeah, so my take on that is exactly that about McGregor. You can talk it all up, and you can still go and lose and still carry on. People will get over it. Topuria's just making more money doing what he's doing, and I say go for it. Fuck it.
I mean, the storyline's perfect. The UFC have played this perfectly. Like, I'm super happy for what they've done for this card because it's
your banger of the night, Reese.
Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary. I've decided. I think that's going to be a fucking banger. It can go either way. I honestly don't think that Volk versus Topuria is going to be that close, so that's why I've gone that fight.
wow. Big call.
What's a big call about it? Like, as you said, Nick, if he doesn't finish Volk within 2 rounds, this is your words, it's Volk's fight. So I don't think, there's 2 rounds there's 10 minutes. I mean, Jeff Neal,
but
that could go
that
5
2
rounds.
rounds is going to be insane.
So I'm actually very similar to Reese. I think Jeff Neal v Gary is just going to be a banger. Jeff Neal is going to throw up that high guard and just be chasing him, and it's going to be just waiting to see if Jeff can land one, while Ian Gary's landing 10, and I reckon it's going to be sick. But yeah, banger of the night has to be Ilya v Volk. What's at stake? The typical undefeated upcomer, power hitter, great storyline. He's already super popular. He could explode, and fuck, we all want Volk to win. Only a loser like Nick wouldn't. Sometimes I can't handle these fights.
He's Australian, for God's sake, and he's not going for Volk. Like, seriously.
Sometimes
I understand if you had sort of a Stephen take about it and gone to Ilya, and then but saying oh yeah, I want Volk to win because I'm like, you want your countrymen to do good.
Even Sugar doesn't like what he's done. Sugar hates what he's done. He's dying inside right now.
I wasn't using what Sugar's done in my eyes is I fucking hate you
I
for
tip
it.
who I think's going to
criminal.
win, and that's got
I 100%
it's
agree.
irrelevant to who I want to win. I
See.
tip who I think will win, and it's irrelevant. I'm going for Volk. But sometimes I really suffer watching some of these high stakes fights, like watching Alex Pereira fucking murder my boy Jiri.
No,
killed me.
oh yeah, okay. I thought you were going to talk
And
about
so
that
these
one.
these big hitters who are storming forward, and you're just in anticipation for one of the hits to land. Sometimes I just genuinely don't like watching them because I'm fucking scared the whole time and can't enjoy it. But it's
Fair.
it's got to be banger of the night.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because would we say Jeff Neal is kind of like Tapuria and Ian Gary is kind of like Volk? Could we
No.
say that?
In a way,
Yeah,
but much
it's a
different.
good
because,
curtain opener, is what I was getting at.
because yeah, it'll be similar in style where I think Volk needs to keep attacking his legs with leg kicks, and I think Volk will end up being on the back foot because he won't be able to. I don't think his punching will be able to earn respect of Topuria to not end up on the fence, which is similar to the Ian Gary fight. I think Ian Gary's going to end up on the fence while Jeff Neal throws up a high guard and chases him. But the difference is Topuria's technically and more powerful with his boxing, whereas Jeff Neal's nowhere near Ian Gary's level of boxing.
Yeah, fair. But the power's sort of similar.
Yeah, the power situation's similar, and that's why I think it is kind of similar that I think both Ian Gary and Volk are going to have their backs on the fence, trying to keep range.
Yep. Oh
Alright.
man, it's tense.
All right, so should we finish up there?
Yeah, we can do 46 minutes.
Okay, bye guys. Bye Volk.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a post-fight episode after, either sort of Monday night or Tuesday night. It should be out. And yeah, we do apologise for the audio and the camera. Obviously, it will get fixed down the road. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Or none of you.